Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the Marketing for Artists podcast. I'm your host, Chris. So as you may have noticed, we took a brief hiatus during the whole COVID work from home pandemic thing. But during our hiatus, I received some valuable feedback from you, the listeners. One of which was make shorter episodes. So that's what we're going to do. Moving forward, we're going to bring you the same great, amazing content and insight, but in smaller, more digestible pieces. So stay tuned for this week's episode, part 1 of a 3-part series, 3 big mistakes that artists make when trying to market their work. This week's episode, thinking your family and your friends are ideal customers. So one really big mistake that a lot of artists, myself included way back in the day, do when we first start marketing our art is contact our friends and our family. Right? It's only natural for us to do that. Our friends, our family, they're here to support and love us. And most of the time, if they're really good friends, they'll do their best to support us. However, family and friends are not in the market to buy our art. Plain and simple. So while it may be a way to get a quick boost in sales momentarily, you are not going to get repeat business from family and friends. Also, when you sell to friends and family, you're not going to gain the valuable feedback that you need as an artist to improve your work and to grow. Our friends and our family, they often just, hey, this is great. Hey, that looks beautiful. Oh, you're so talented. They like to brag on us, right? Because we're associated, but they don't give us valuable feedback. And oftentimes family and friends, they don't know the technical or the business side of art in a way to help actually give valuable feedback. It's not that they don't want to, it's just they're not in always the right position to do so. And I'm just going to say this, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of shade for this. When we get a lot of sales from family and friends, they're pity sales, right? And it's not saying that to be inherently negative, but I am saying that they're doing this because they want to support you, or they feel bad that maybe you're not super successful, so they want to show support because they love you and they want you to do well, right? That's not the kind of sale that we need, right? It's not helping you find your ideal customer. And in marketing and in sales, that's the biggest thing, is finding your niche and finding your ideal customer, what they look like, what they might be interested in, what their budget's like. And when we just sell to friends and family, that's not what we're doing. Now, I know I mentioned this briefly, but selling artwork, right? One of the biggest things that we need, and not just artwork, but any sort of creative business or any sort of business in general, is repeat business. It is a lot easier to sell to somebody you've already sold to than it is to find a new customer and sell them on your product. A repeat customer already knows the value of your work. They already know what you stand for. They're already familiar with your brand, and they're going to be more likely to promote your work to other people. Right? Family and friends, they may not always share your work. They may make a brief post on social media or say, hey, my cousin's an artist, right? But they're not going to sell your art. Your ideal customer is the person who's going to do that. While it's great to get a lot of support from family and friends, stick to selling to the people who are in the market to buy your art. And that's what we're going to touch on in our next episode, not targeting the people who are in your market. So stay tuned for episode part 2. So to recap, family and friends are not your ideal customer, right? They're not in the market to buy your art. You're not going to get a lot of repeat business. They're not going to be able to provide you the valuable feedback that you need as an artist. And a lot of times, they're just pity sales. And that's not what we want as artists. So stay tuned for our next episode, the second part of our 3-part series, 3 big mistakes that artists make when promoting their work. I'll see you next time. Do you need marketing help? Maybe you are looking for extra tips. Well, great news. You can find me online at SDSandMarketing.com. Link will be in the bio. Or you can reach out via any of your favorite social media platforms, including Instagram and Facebook at Sarah Design Studio. You can find the Marketing for Artists podcast on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and of course, YouTube. I appreciate you taking the time to check out the Marketing for Artists podcast, and we'll catch you next time.